Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
You still there, Jeff? Joe, I haven't heard. If you can hear me, I haven't heard a word you've said.
How's that? Is that better?
There you go.
All right. Magically delicious. That's what she said. On to the next one. All right. We're back. We appreciate Tybus, as usual, coming in and starting the party right. I got Jeff and Shawn in here, and we're talking Ducks and Bucks and a very kind of interesting one half of a football game. Uh, Maybe not so much the second half. And we're going to get you ready for this Texas game against the Longhorns. You know how it goes. Down with the
Horns.
horns. You can't give me a penalty, Sark. You punk bitch. I
That's
can do
legal
this
now, isn't
all
it?
day.
That's legal now,
What?
though, isn't it?
Maybe. Yeah.
I think this year or the year before, they took that away as being a penalty.
Probably because they joined the SEC and the SEC's like, quit being a bunch of bitches
Probably.
because we're going to do this at every stadium. So here's to you, Sark. You Grecian son of a bitch. Mm, can't wait to put it on this guy. All right. So you guys got anything you want to start off with before we get into the football stuff? Shout out
No,
Saint New Orleans. Hope you guys are recovering. Uh,
yeah, that's
hate
a
to see
horrible story,
that.
man. That's horrible. Yeah,
We've all been on Bourbon Street at 3 a.m. We know what
yes.
it looks like. The the density of people and horses and cops on horses. I don't know how somebody gets a fucking car down that street ever
It's
outside of
amazing.
nighttime.
Yeah, you'd have to be. You would have had to have been there to see the situation. Absolutely horrible. But
Yeah,
yeah, that dude got taken out real quick because he pulled out a rifle on cops. They will shoot you dead. So case closed
yeah.
on that. But
Numbers are
but man,
numbers
a
were not on
lot.
his
But
side.
no, and there's the news coming out afterwards, and about
Right.
there's bombs planted around the area. Man, it's horrible,
Yeah,
horrible
yeah,
shit.
it's real shit. It's not just a one psycho kind of thing, just, you know,
Yeah. Well, and
walked out of Kmart with a gun and decided to get nuts. It was,
yeah. This-
calculated by multiple people, which is
So hopefully,
crazy too. But
but yeah, hopefully they find the rest of the people involved. And they remember they got Super Bowls coming next month.
oh,
So
did they?
yeah.
I
New
did
Orleans
not
got
know
Super
that.
Bowl. Yeah. So they got their hands full. With checking
Yeah.
security and all that shit. So but glad the game got off.
Mhm.
Sorry to hear about Kirby Smart's dad. Holy shit! Did you hear about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Fell at the stadium.
Fell.
Just whatever the day
Right.
before, and um,
Yeah.
nobody. I mean, I don't care for Kirby Smart so much as a football coach, but no, I don't want to hear that story about anybody. So
Yeah.
thoughts to him. Losing his dad. Complications from a hip surgery. Man, broken hip. That's a tough case. But anyways,
Yeah. It's
uh,
it's how it goes, man. With like my wife's, we dealt with it with
mhm.
her mom. Once they fall at a certain age, your kind of days are numbered, man. If they
Yeah,
break a hip or whatever, it's downhill from there, unfortunately. But
yeah, that's tough.
hey, anyway, all right. What
Segue to
else we
happy
got?
holidays. A segue to happy holidays, guys.
Oh, holidays are over.
I hope you all had happy holidays. Anyways,
Uh,
now we're back
I
to
had, I
football,
had
I
a
think.
lovely brunch today, so yeah, I've been drinking all day, and I feel like $1 million. Sometimes I think I actually show up better on these evening shows when I've been drinking all day versus just getting started a few hours ago. Who's to say? Who's to say?
Hey, in order to
I'm
drink
sure
all
you'll let me
day,
know.
in order to drink all night, you need to be able to drink all day.
Is that how it goes?
Sure.
I'll go with it. I'll go with it. It's all good. Oh, I got
Before
to
you can,
start the
yeah,
fucking Instagram. Hey, Instagram, what are you doing? Wake up, Instagram. All right. Well, no Instagram live again this week. Apparently, Instagram is not in the mood. Kind of like my wife. Hey, anyway, let's get into it here. Let's see. All right.
kind of why I'm
Question for the
divorced.
chat. Question for the chat. Score prediction. Very simple.
That's not a question. What will be the score? You got to
Score
frame it.
prediction for
You got
Buckeyes versus Texas. Who else are we playing?
to put it in the form of a question.
Jeopardy.
Exactly.
What is? I'm sorry. Uh, okay. So drop your score predictions in the chat. We will get to those. Everybody's comment will get popped up on screen. If I can't read every one of them, I'm sorry. Uh, we got 3 people here in 90 minutes, and we're trying to cover 2 different games. So um, before we get into the Buckeye game, anything from Georgia Notre Dame? Any surprises there? I'm not surprised at all, just to get
I'm
that
No,
out of the way.
I'm happy that it went that way. I still am more confident that we have a team that beats Notre Dame over a team that beats Georgia. And I know Georgia's not looked
Mm,
great, but they flashed during the year and had some big wins, and they still got the same kids on that roster that's loaded with 5-star talent. And that's the type of team that could catch fire and do some damage in a game. So I'm glad to see them eliminated.
Georgia, yeah. Well, when you're on
I
your backup quarterback going into the second round of the playoffs, you're in big fucking trouble, man.
what that
Um,
my point. That was my point, Joe. Not everybody has a Cardell Jones, boys. Gunnar Stockton, he was not the answer. I would not have minded playing Georgia one bit and get some exact our revenge on them with him at the helm.
yes, me
I would
too.
have felt fine. Now, granted, now with Carson Beck, yeah, you're right. 100% what you said, Joe. If Carson Beck is the quarterback, exactly right. Georgia can be dangerous. We saw very clearly against a good defense like Notre Dame has, ours would be on par, if not better than that.
Yeah,
The Gunnar Stockton, he wasn't ready.
no, no,
But
yeah.
I mean, Notre Dame plays defense and runs the ball. Um, cool. We can. I don't mind playing that way. I feel
Ano-
confident in our team playing that way.
another limited quarterback, though.
I, yeah, right it under. He'll hurt you with his legs if you let him. But I mean, we have a
That's it,
defense I think would be great to play against him. Honestly,
right? How about Penn State making it in? What do you guys think of that? This
Well,
matchup with
fucking James Franklin, he's got to parlay this into fucking super raise.
what
you
do you
guys,
think,
but you
Sean?
guys, look, I'm a closet James Franklin fan.
Shout out,
You
Um,
can come
Sean.
out. You
Stop
can
it.
come out of the closet. It's
Come on
okay.
out. I mean, we're gonna make fun of you. We're gonna make fun of you whether you do it or not.
no, I'm not. No, I'm in the closet. I'm not coming out. I'm deep in the closet on James
Oh,
Franklin. I'm not coming
all
out.
right.
You're just a creep. You're just a creepy deviant.
Down in the
No,
mothballs and
but
shit.
I mean, James Franklin has
No,
lost his share of big games, correct?
Yeah.
all of them. Yeah, all of them.
Every time he plays Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, he's lost. Yeah, you're right, Sean. He was. Yeah, he's won it.
I just, when all of the stuff comes that fire James Franklin and all this shit, I feel like you're doing a Belima job in Nebraska or something where you've got and actually I think he's a little better than a 9-3. I think James Franklin's a 10-2 coach,
Yeah,
Yeah.
typically.
Yeah,
every year,
And who are
every
that's
you
the
year.
gonna
ceiling.
when you're in a conference with Ohio State and Michigan and now Oregon,
Oregon, yeah, and
you
then
know
now Indiana.
who are you gonna get better? Um,
Yeah,
that's gonna win 10 games every year. And now
that's
got
a
your
fair
because
point.
you're in the Final Four. I mean, I actually don't think Notre Dame is that great of a team either. I think this could be a nice little matchup between those two. And I
Hmm.
mean,
I think so too. I think it's a very competitive game between the two of them. Very similar, I think. Which one can hurt more in the passing game? I tend to think Drew Aller has more. He's shown to have more success with
Yeah.
with a wide open with open passing games. But two similar teams. Yeah, I'm really excited to see. I like seeing three northern teams
but
in that Final
we
Four.
already did the Penn State thing at their house. I really
Yeah.
want Notre Dame to win this game. I think.
I do
Really?
too. I mean,
Why is
I
that?
would. Right.
Why
Well,
is it?
me.
Go
Go ahead,
ahead,
Sean.
Jeff.
Sean, go ahead.
No, I'm done. That's what I said.
Uh,
I'd rather face Notre Dame.
yeah, I would too for the ratings. Notre Dame, Ohio State for the national title. That just sounds right. That sounds right.
Yes.
Hmm.
And then it's gonna be a
Sounds very
ratings.
1950s.
It's gonna be a fucking They're gonna do 25 million. Ohio State Notre Dame national title would do 25 million. I bet at its peak. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
big time fucking get. The CFP, even Sankey, who's probably getting a piece of all the shit, he would be happy
Yeah.
to watching that game. I don't see how that game could go wrong. But I, I'll pick Notre Dame. I'll pick Notre Dame on the grass in the Orange Bowl. Yeah,
Oh, versus Penn State. Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
And I don't mind playing I don't mind playing Notre Dame, but I don't mind playing
Wow.
anybody right now.
56 degrees down in Miami. 56 degrees. That's nuts.
Well, gee, you're getting snow flurries, ain't you?
No, pert near. It was 47 this morning when I got up.
Yeah, 48 here, Orlando, North Orlando.
So, all right. I was just curious how you guys thought about that game. We're going to get into this Texas game. They had a barn burner with ASU. Did not
Jesus
see that
Christ,
coming, if anybody
nobody
else
did.
did. Yep.
Nobody did.
So, before we get into the Oregon recap here, we're going to give you our good, bad, and ugly, and we'll talk about our score predictions, microscopes that we had for that game, of course, because somebody was dead on it. And then we will give our score predictions for the Ohio State versus Texas game. I think the Buckeyes are wearing their scarlet jerseys, which
That's what I heard.
doesn't fit. That doesn't fit.
Well,
But
Texas got to pick, even though they're the home team.
they
They
wear the
got to pick
yeah,
whites.
if they
that's the
wanted.
thing.
They,
They get to choose their jersey. Yeah. Lucky Whites, huh? We'll see, Whitey.
like,
So anyway,
yeah,
CFP
like,
odds to win the CFP championship. These are as of yesterday afternoon. I can't imagine they changed it all. The Buckeyes, your favorite to win the championship, minus 110. So if you wanted value on the Buckeyes, it's
yeah,
way too late.
yep,
You should have got in when I did back after the Michigan game.
right
And
at,
then
yeah,
Notre
right.
Dame, hold on.
Yep, so,
Notre Dame plus 375, Texas plus 400, Penn State plus 475. So you can see a clear order here, at least from Vegas's point of view. You know, Ohio State, Notre Dame. I mean, but there is a huge gulf here between Ohio State and Notre Dame, one and two. Minus 110 to 375, Jeff.
yeah, yeah, big gap there. So I mean, you're looking at they gave odds too on what the games would be, right? I think the projected games. I think we were favored 7.5. Like
Oh,
a
the
projected,
spread for the
yeah,
future
projected
games?
spreads. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I can
So
pull those up, I
what's
think.
what was Texas odds? What's Texas odds? What are they getting? What's their number on winning the title?
Yeah, it was plus 400. They
Oof,
were third favorite there.
that's it. That's not a bad bet though. I mean, because they have the potential. I mean, they're not just in there like Cinderella story. They definitely have the
Mhm.
They still
So
have the value because I feel like to
value, yes,
me,
that's what I meant.
I don't want to. I don't want to belittle anybody we might face, especially in a national championship game. But to me, this feels like this is that natty game. Like
Yeah.
the winner of this
Mm.
game is going to go on to win it all.
Well,
I thought
fucking
the same
hey,
about the
when's
Oregon
it?
game.
I did too.
We said it here. It was the de facto national championship when we played Oregon.
But you're right, Sean.
I
But
didn't
Sean,
think so yet.
you're right.
Okay.
I mean, we got to because we're gonna be over a touchdown favored Penn State and Notre Dame. I mean, it's one of them 6.5. I think one of them was 6.5. But yeah, you're right, Sean. It does have that feel for sure. Because Texas is, it's like Texas is thought of as being
Oh,
the last threat to us, almost.
oh shit. The odds have changed. These
Have
are
they?
updated odds. Updated odds as of this second, according to betonline.ag, the unofficial but site that I use for my wagering. Ohio State minus 140.
Oof,
That's way down from 110.
it's
Notre Dame
climbing.
still plus 375. Texas plus 400. Penn State down to 575 plus 525. Sorry.
Well,
Penn
yeah,
State
because
dropping like a rock. What happened?
nobody has any. It's James Franklin. Penn State fans don't even like James Franklin in big games. I have one of my customers went to Penn State. But, dude, he loves Penn State. He fucking hates James Franklin because he knows it. He knows what he's seeing.
Right. Yeah.
So I admit Vegas has got to be the same way. The odds. Hey, remember this: Vegas has nailed every single pick, every pick in the playoff system. So
Yeah.
follow the desert, folks. They're on
Yeah.
it this year.
There's nothing good out there. Just a bunch of holes. All right. So let's get into this Oregon game. We figured out, the Buckeyes are the heavy favorite. Our score predictions in the 41-21 lambasting of these Ducks. And who doesn't love a
Basing
good
of ducks.
fried duck breast with the duck confit, all that stuff. Uh, Buckeyes were favored by 2.5. Over under 55. I had 37-27. I was feeling really confident. I was feeling like up to two scores, but I stuck with the 10-point win. And they buried that in both directions. Jeff had 30-28. Not so confident in our
I,
Buckeyes,
I was
clearly.
confident. Hey, I I did not see. No, I did not see. I did not expect what I saw. No, I did not.
All right. And Sean had 38-21. So maybe Sean was on it. He was
Sean's
only a
went.
field
Yeah,
goal
yeah,
off.
yeah. Joe, you finally lost one. Yeah, it goes to
Eh,
Sean.
I
I
don't
can't win
know.
16 in a row. What do you think, Henry?
Hey, it was out there and poised to happen. Again, I saw the hunger in this Buckeye team's eyes. Revenge
Yeah.
game. Um, this is their chance. They're on a mission.
Yeah. All right. Microscopes. I'm going to go ahead and take the win on this one before I
Oh
even get to
shit!
you
Really?
guys. Jeremiah Smith, Cody Simon.
Yeah.
Name me two better players.
My guys
They
had
were
good games,
players of
but
the
you're right.
game, by the
They were
way.
players. Yeah, you're right. They were players of the game. You
Jeff, you
win. All
had
right.
Tegra.
I didn't know we were trying
Tegra.
to go for player of the game. I thought we were like, who you keeping
I
your eye on? Well, you
exactly.
can't just say that.
Exactly.
Oh, is
Sean.
that not the same?
Exact.
Is that
No,
No,
different?
you're
Sean.
not. Because
Sean's right. Sean's right. Sean's right. Joe.
no.
I
All
did
right.
not pick Integra Shabola to be the player of the game. You know that.
Oh,
God damn it.
well,
We've taken O linemen before.
Yes, that's why I took Tegra because he
okay.
needed to show me improvement.
Okay, then
If we're
sorry,
picking
folks.
player of the game, I would have picked
Not
Will
player
Howard
of the
10 times
game.
this year. All
Yeah.
right, whatever,
Not
Joe. All
not player of the game. They
right.
were microscopes, folks. My
Yeah, who are
bad.
you watching? Who are you watching closely? Who are you
I'm
watching
watching
closely?
JJ go up
and
and down the field. I'm watching
and
I
and
Cody
my
knock the freaking running back out of the
and
game. That's
My
what I'm
West Coast
watching.
boys went off.
Yeah, you Northwest in the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you do an N with your hands? I don't know, like this. I think I just gave the
No,
bird there like three
I
times
I I,
uh,
I
with
think you
two
just
hands.
got put on a
it was
hit list
inverted.
for dropping them gang signs.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm on a government watch list already.
No, this
I
ain't the
don't mean.
government, bro.
You know the
Uh,
finger.
yes, Goose. I know the finger. All right. So, like going into the game, these are the guys we named off, the most wanted, the players to watch for Oregon on offense.
Oh yeah,
Quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Jordan James, Tez Johnson, Evan Stewart, Terrence Ferguson. The list goes on.
two of them
What
didn't finish the
happened?
game. Two,
What
two of them didn't
happened?
finish.
Well, one never started. uh, one dude, I think maybe a couple of guys made some business decisions because I saw Ohio State, the defense, especially Lathan Ransom, the LBs as well, flying around and hitting the shit out of people. Jordan
Yes,
James left with a head injury in the second quarter. He had
yeah,
7 carries for 14 yards at that point.
woozy. He was.
Supposedly, Evan Stewart, the wide receiver transfer, um, did not play at all. He was quote unquote dinged up during pregame warm ups. How's a receiver do that? Somebody drive a
Oh,
golf cart into his knee or something? I've never seen that before. Anyway, uh, so yeah, Dylan Gabriel. Let's start with him. This guy had a hell of a day. Holy shit! He was pressured on 32 of 52 dropbacks.
what what
Do
was
I
the
need to
percentage
do
we
the
said,
math
Joe? Yeah,
there?
what is that percentage?
I don't know. I don't have my calculator in front of me.
Well,
I
remember we
can
talked
pull it
about
up here.
we were talking about blitz percentages last week.
62%.
62%. Yeah,
62% of his dropbacks. By the way, the only reason he's dropping back 52 times is because you're getting your fucking ass kicked. It's 34 nothing
yeah,
in the second quarter, bro.
and the running
Um,
backs out of the game. And
your
yeah,
starter anyway, yeah.
yeah,
So
and it still wasn't throwing deep though. Still that same old fucking 5 yards and in, 5 yards and in, 8 yards and in, everything.
yeah, middle of the field. They worked the middle of the field, 5 for 5 behind the line of scrimmage in the middle of the field,
Yeah,
14 of 17 from 0 to 10 yards. So they went back to their old bread and butter,
sure,
found some
sure.
stuff as the Buckeyes loosened up a little bit. 3 for 3 down the middle of the field between 10 and 20. So yeah, a lot of it came in. Like that drive at the end of the second quarter when the Buckeyes were up 34 nothing. Like, all
Yeah.
right, go ahead, dude. Take
That pissed
take
me off.
off.
I hated those giving up those points going in.
Uh,
Well,
and then coming
and then
out.
coming out. Yes, that back
Yeah.
to back. I was like, don't do it, Buckeyes. Don't fucking do this. And then they straightened up. Then it like that.
They made you kind of
Yeah,
squirm for a minute,
and
but
that's all. I got to see an answer. I got to see an answer after they scored that in the second half. Coming down. I was like, all right, well, I got to see if it doesn't look right off the bat, then we're in trouble. And they corrected, offense and defense corrected. So, um, yeah, the best game Ohio State put together this year by far, hands down. I think with right, no, no costly penalties, no major turnovers, no big fucking lapses of anything. Um, no missed assignments really. I didn't see any. And if you want to work the middle of the field against Ohio State, cool. I'm cool with that. We got two guys in the front six, and then two guys right behind them. Go ahead, fuck with the middle. I like our four in the middle of the field for sure.
well, when you're getting pressured on virtually every drop back, you can go ahead and we'll take our chances and see what
And,
happens.
and that
Henry,
was
what
for
was your
Joe.
take on that?
Oh,
On that? What? Go ahead,
sorry, it's real quick.
Jeff.
Pressure with four, Joe. We got pressure with four a lot.
Sometimes three. Sometimes
Sometimes,
three. You
all right. I'm
notice?
saying so. We still had our guys. We weren't blitzing and gambling in coverage. We were sitting on their
Right.
short shit and getting pressure with
Right.
four. That's what we always said. If you can get pressure with four, you don't have to blitz. You don't give up shit in the passing game.
Right. And
Great, great
uh
output.
yeah, and Gabriel still was pretty good under pressure, 64% under pressure.
5 yards
Uh
deep. Yeah, sure.
we did not have to blitz. We blitzed him
Yep.
on 5 dropbacks of 52. That's
Wow.
10% to you and me almost.
And we were talking about 40% for
Five
that.
dropbacks. So that tells you that Jack and JT on the edges and even the tackles in the middle were doing their work, uh, abusing this, what I thought was supposed to be one of the best O lines in the country. These guys didn't have any injuries.
Well,
They
we
were
have one
not
of the best.
depleted.
We have one of the best D lines. That's what it proved. We proved that our D line is one of the best in the country because Tyleek doesn't pop off the stat sheet, but he had a fucking monster game. He disrupted
Yeah.
everything in the middle.
He
Everything.
did.
I mean, he didn't have a lot of stats to show for it, but I guarantee you, Joe, if you have the grades, I bet he graded out champion. I would think
He
he did.
had three
I think he
pressures
played like
on
a
his
champion.
own, one hit on the quarterback. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
who
No,
graded out.
what did
no,
you
he won't
say?
have the numbers.
We only
He won't.
blitzed 5 times, and 3 of those times, Cody Simon and Lathan Ransom got sacks.
Hmm.
Yeah, Cody had
Yeah.
two. Yeah,
So I
Ransom
mean,
had
yeah.
the one.
So we're betting a
So
thousand.
yeah,
Betting 1,000 on the blitz. That's not bad.
but when you don't have to blitz and you can just sit back and just cloud up the coverage, that
And
seems
make them
like a winning
and make them
formula.
drive down. Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Sorry, sorry to talk over you, Joe. Sorry.
it's all right. Um, so yeah, I went through the list here. Edric Houston with four pressures, only on 14 snaps, and he was lined up on
Yep.
the inside.
I saw a lot of
Uh,
him. Saw a lot of him.
He's
96.
going to be our new Tyleek. I think he's
Yep.
the heir apparent.
yeah, yeah, I like it.
That
I got a ton of
that
videos
kid's a stud.
to show everybody here. Yeah, he's a good one, and I love that they actually had a great rotation going, guys. They
I
had
thought so.
so JT and Jack. JT had 54 snaps total. Jack 49. Kenyatta 22.
Nice.
Edric 14. Caden Curry 10. Let's see. Mitchell Melton got in there with 9. Um, I'm looking at the ends only right now. But then inside, like I said, Edric was inside. He had 14. Inside, Tyleek 49. Hero Canoe 8. Uh, K-Mac, Caden McDonald in there with 9. Yeah. Oh, Taiwan Malone got in there at 3. So yeah, they actually had a rotation going because, you know, I think the big lead helped, you know, you get out to a huge lead at halftime, you're like, all right, let's rotate some guys in, right? So
Well,
I don't
they
know
did on the
exactly when
line,
these
but they
what?
didn't rotate a bunch on the linebackers and secondary. They were like, we're not going to let
Nope.
this get away
Right.
from us.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's
Jermaine
true.
Matthews, we saw Jermaine Matthews, but that was really about it until a lot of the started getting moving out. Joe,
He
one
got
thing,
40 snaps. That's
yeah,
quite a
I mean,
bit.
because he played. I mean, he should be in the rotation. I think he's proven kind of like that year with Gary and Conley, Marshawn Lattimore, and Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward, when
Mhm.
Kerry Coleman said we have 3 corners, Denzel will play with these two. He's not starting, but like they're all those
Yeah.
guys were all first round
Jermaine will be
picks.
a one and done full time starter.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
guessing.
like
Well, look at
Malik Hooker
this.
or something like that. Yeah, for
You
sure.
guys check out these snap counts for the three corners uh, between Burke, IGB, and Matthews. IGB 63 snaps, Matthews 40, Denzel 41. So you got a strong rotation there, and Burke actually came off the field quite a bit.
Yeah, I
They don't sub Hancock out much either.
Well, no, because
no,
he's a slot,
and you see
and
Styles. You see a little
he
bit of
played
Lorenzo Styles, but not much.
69. Well, that's in dime. Lorenzo
Yeah, right.
Styles is a dime corner,
Well, yeah,
but
but
Jordan
he's a bag.
Hancock
Sorry.
is a slot, and he will rotate back into a deep safety role, like a free almost, just to show multiple looks. You know, if you ever notice, he will line up near the line of scrimmage, and then before the snap, he will bolt back to the middle of the field. You know, and play that deep safety at times, and then Caleb Downs will come down and
Yep.
play almost like a second middle linebacker behind the linebackers there. So it's a crazy defense that Knowles is definitely in his bag. He's definitely dialing things up and confusing the shit out of the other team. So yeah, what else here? Not a great day blocking wise, obviously, for the Oregon O line. Um, and then on the other side of the ball, um, the players to watch. We were told Mateo Uyunglele. Watch out for him. Big Dave, his dad, all over Twitter talking shit about Donovan Jackson, this and that. Donovan Jackson's dad, after the game, said, "Hey, Dave, now it's time to take my son's name out your mouth and go enjoy your off season." I love that. So we haven't heard from Big Dave on the game, No comment yet. Then you got Jordan Birch. He was back. 10 sacks in
Was he?
9 games for,
Was he
I
back? I didn't know.
think.
Did he
I
play?
don't know. I didn't see either of these guys. Harmon, I saw him make a tackle once. He was in there.
Hey,
And the Buckeyes roasted this defense like big time.
uh, roasted like did what they want, but I mean we called the plays that we need to call to show the best of us. I mean that opening drive, fucking chef's kiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No defense in the country can fuck with us when we have play calling like that because we're
Yep.
doing exactly what we need to do to maximize our guys. You know what I'm saying? They did that play, G Scott, that fucking rollout, the wide receiver,
Yeah.
the bubble screen, the little play, and he goes. That's awesome. I mean, it's like perfect. So you get off the rip, you hit for like 30 yards, and then Jeremiah, you get Jeremiah running semi full speed, catching the ball in space. Yeah, that's what happens. He fucking dusts everybody. Just runs by people to the end zone, pulls up the deuces at the 10. I'm
Yep.
perfect. I mean, there's like that's what nobody can. Nobody if we can execute like that and play those with those kind of play calls, nobody can fuck with us. No defense can.
Now I'm dialing up some videos here. This is the 44-yard JJ catch where he turns the safety's hips and nobody's home in that right corner. I don't know what that safety was thinking. JJ just made a slight move to his left, and so the safety actually turned his back to JJ, goes left, and then JJ turns hard right, and it's lights out. Cancel Christmas. Beautiful. I got video playing here of that. I could watch this shit all day long. Here's another the Skycam. If you guys don't watch the Skycam version on ESPN, you're missing out because you're seeing the all 22. You see what the
Oh, I saw it
quarterback sees and what the defense is doing. Here's the Skycam version of that. So you got JJ's pointing at him, of course.
to the nearest defender. Like, what are you
Yeah,
guys doing? Like, what do they call it? The Scott, whatever
it's
that
just
view of the game,
Skycast. Yeah,
Skycast. Okay, run that screen and then your main screen, and then so you can get the angles. Because I didn't know that. I didn't see that route at all. They didn't even show the replay of like the route, so I didn't even know about it until I watched it the second time.
They
But
need to
holy
get
oh,
shit!
better at showing replays on all these channels instead of players over on the sideline getting their asses padded on stuff. I want to see what
yeah,
happened. They 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 lack
yeah.
in that sometimes. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like the
I
camera
I
angles
like
and
the
all
all
of that are
22
there.
view.
Well, yes, and yeah, I don't need to see the quarterback and the backup quarterback sitting together on the bench looking at a fucking
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah,
I know they're looking at. They just scored a touchdown. I know they're looking at the play. I want to look at the play too.
Yeah.
exactly.
Show me what they're looking at least. Or do that. Yeah, put that on TV. That'd be fucking cool. How show what the quarterbacks are doing and how they look at those pads.
Yeah, they
Put
they
Right.
they ain't
dude.
showing you what they're looking at.
Yeah,
How
that
about
would be
this play
awesome.
here?
Yeah, one
Yeah,
handed because
Holy
he's
shit.
off the
getting held.
guy,
His right
off the
arm is getting
guy's
held.
off the guy's
Yeah.
arm.
Hmm.
A deeper drop and needed some time to get down there. What?
Fully extended. Like that dude has no shot. You know what I mean? The DNs, edge rushing, you need to get into the lineman.
Yeah.
So you need to he just that means you're
Yeah.
3 more steps away from the quarterback.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
he's
textbook.
bouncing off of Donovan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, take out
and a top 10 pick.
he's been nails. He's been concrete out there on the left tackle position, and I love it. And let's finish up with some holding, not holding.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just wanted a hug.
Spoiler
Somebody
spoiler
wanted a
alert
hug.
on the good, bad, ugly. Spoiler alert.
What's it mean when the DN has his left hand strung out like that? Like he's getting choked out? Jesus Christ.
But
Still no
Oregon never
holding calls.
none all year, right? None.
51 games for Jack Sawyer alone since he's had a holding called against his opponent.
Wow.
51
Un,
games.
unbelievable. I can count probably 42 for sure off the top of my head
How's
of
this
games
one
that you
look?
got
Does
held.
this look okay?
Oregon never gets called, right? They never get called.
Uh,
What's their stats on that?
they
We
have
talked about it
zero,
last week. They have
zero,
zero over here,
zero
right?
holdings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
That was
So
we getting the good, bad, and ugly on this game, Joe?
yeah, we sure are. We got plenty of time for that. I got a couple more clips. Let's see. I got a Ryan Day post game with
I
BTN.
thought that we
Dude,
did a really good job with our
his
Couple
AI
years
preparation.
interview
ago.
was great.
You like to say that this is like magic
No, I can't.
recipe or
Nobody.
something that you can, drum up to get the guys to play at a certain level, but it comes down to your execution. And I thought, from the jump, the first play, we faked the screen and the ball was thrown down the sideline to G. Scott. I thought that was well designed but well executed, and then it just kind of went from there. And certainly, the protection was strong early on, and then with the defense getting 8 sacks and negative rushing yards, anytime like that, something like that happens, it's going to be a good day. But I think you could feel from the jump that, we had an edge to us when we took the field. We wanted to send a message early on and then, continue throughout the game. I was a little disappointed about how we handled the middle 8, something we take a lot of pride in. But we did finish the game strong. I thought that we did a really good.
Yeah. So yeah, not a lot to complain about there. But he did say the thing that caught my ear initially was they took the field with an edge. And you saw that, especially from the defense, man. The defense is taking this to the opposing offense and just suffocating, right? And hitting the shit out of people. Like, again, I think a lot of those Oregon guys didn't want to play after that first
Well,
quarter. They're like,
I felt like it. They scored that going into halftime because some of them I felt were quitting when it was 34-0. The heads were hanging low, and then they
yeah,
scored that touchdown. I think it gave them a little bit of life. Then come out of halftime, score that second one, gave them a little bit more life. Once we answered that, I felt like the air went out of them again. Like, yeah, there's no
yeah.
catching up.
The look on Dan Lanning's face the entire first half told the story, in my opinion. He looked like he got kicked in the sack
Yeah, he was
like
fucking shook,
a few
bro. He
times.
looked shook.
He was very concerned. Uh, yeah, he did not say a word. He looked every time they showed him on the sideline. I never saw him talking. Maybe he had lockjaw. I don't know. Who's to say? But that was weird. I thought because that guy's usually chirping nonstop. Let's see. I got one more for you guys, and this one is a motivational tool and targeted towards recruits.
Hey man,
Jermaine Matthews never shortage for talking shit.
Be careful what you ask for. Hey, we now West Coast boys. We took over the West
But Bobby Carpenter says
Don't go to
his
Oregon with no
bankability
shoe deal, man.
and Jermaine Matthews is high.
That's in America. Hey, BIS not a Hey man,
So taking the belt to ass acronym and just yeah, carrying it out. What else here? Anything else on this game? Good, bad, and ugly. Let's run through that. Go ahead,
Good.
Jeff, with your good.
My good uh, play calling first half. I mean, there's a million things. There's the
Yeah.
yeah play calling. Just that opening
All right.
drive,
All right.
chef's kiss.
John, what do you got for your good?
For the good, I'll go with no PIs by Igbinosin and a high snap count. That was good.
Oh, all right. I like that. A little finally some profit.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, I
like it.
mean they don't bring him off much.
and,
They
he had
pull
good. He
Bert,
had a
but
great
they
game.
don't
Did
pull.
not give up anything. I mean, great game.
Yep. One target, zero catches. Yep. And IGB using his head, right? That fade ball down the sideline
Yep.
to
I,
was it Tez
yes,
Johnson, I think?
Tez. Yeah, went off his top of
Went
his helmet,
off
but
IGB's head.
in great
That would have
position. His
gone out
arm.
of bounds anyway.
But he
Yep.
would
Sorry,
use the
sorry. Yeah,
PI
arm was
for
up.
that. And
No, but he kept his arm up. His arm was up in the catch radius. His arm wasn't on the dude or pulling him. It wasn't. He
Yeah.
didn't have his head turned around, which is usually a dead giveaway. But he had his left hand. Yeah, he was positioned right. He was in the right position. He had his right hand in the catch
Yeah.
radius to block it. You know what I'm saying?
And he just used his head like it was a soccer ball or something.
Yeah, he was in good position. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't have anything to do with it going off his head helmet, but he wasn't a step and a half or holding him, in out of position and then do catches it and a flag.
Right. Yeah. So for my good, I'm going with the Buckeye defense. Look at this
Sure.
drive chart. This is why. Oregon's drive chart: punt, 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 downs, turned it over on downs, punt, punt, TD, halftime, TD coming out of half, punt, punt, a late TD in the fourth quarter with like 10 minutes left, then a punt that because they
Yep.
couldn't build off of that last touchdown, and then ball game. So by the way, that last drive was 5 plays, 0 yards.
Yeah. Against our
Buckeye
against our
defense.
freshmen. Against our freshmen. Yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go to ugly.
Can't go
Jeff,
wrong.
what do you get? Or let's go bad. We
Bad.
did our good. Let's go bad.
It's hard to say bad on our team. I would, but bad on Oregon's coaching staff with preparation.
Mm,
Bad preparation. These kids, we took it to them. Now we played to our potential, which this is what we all expected if we see us play the way we think we to their potential. This is what it looks like. But his boys were him and his coaching staff. They were like shook. They like shell shocked, like you said, or whatever. In the streets, they say shook. Uh, but they didn't expect. They're like, well, we can always do what we always do, and it'll just work. And they had
right.
no answer for nothing. Now, a lot of that's great athletic ability on our players, and a great execution and great game plan on our half. But they had nothing, and none of their studs showed out. None of them. I mean, our guys played. Our guys played 10 steps above their guys, and I don't think we're 10 steps above their guys. Maybe a couple. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So bad on the coaching staff.
Okay. Sean, what do you got for your bad?
I don't really have a backup. That was my bad too. Oregon.
Oh,
Just
just as a
Oregon.
general term, the team.
OU
And you just
or
wonder,
UO, whatever.
it's and again, I think we've talked about it before. You wonder if they'll change the format because does it give these teams an advantage with a bye? They all lost that had to bye.
And,
Every single one of them.
Yeah,
there's a reason for that.
I
I
don't
got a
think
reason.
that. I don't
I
think
got a
that's
reason for
fair.
that. I got an explanation for that. I think. But go ahead, Sean.
Well, I mean that's just it's a point of consideration, and it's a little uncanny that the top four seeds in the tournament all get beat, and some of them blown out in their first game.
It's some joke. Can I have a second here?
Well, they're not the top four seeds. They were granted. They were the
One and two
conference
were.
champions. Yes, but the conference champions again got a bye, which the Big 12 champion was definitely not one of the top four, and the ACC champion was not one of the top four seeds. So it's again, the entire format needs to be blown up, and they need to start over or something, reseed, whatever the reasoning is. But I agree with you that it, it that this whole format is totally screwed.
Uh, yes. You
I
did.
mean, who knows? Maybe you had the juice of that Ohio State crowd against Tennessee that reinvigorates your team. That home game, picking you up after a big loss. Um,
Beneficial for sure.
yeah,
But we did have the toughest draw still. I mean, it was beneficial for us to get a game at home.
Yeah.
Against who everybody nationwide said was a tough opponent. Yeah, we played out, and gave the home crowd. They were feeding us, we were feeding them with touchdowns. Um, but like you said, back to the rankings. It's simple. Like Oregon didn't deserve to play us their first game in the playoff. They
Right.
fucking knew
Well,
that.
let's not make this
I,
whole
so
show.
no, you're
So,
right. I'm not gonna draw. I'm just saying, like Oregon, they one seed had a bad draw. Now, because of
right.
the conference champion that gets the one seeds, that's what screwed it all up. There was teams ranked seventh, sixth, seventh, eighth, like us, Penn State, Notre
Yes.
Dame, because because of the conference champions kept us out.
Right.
So the higher seeds were the better teams. The seeding's wrong. They will fix it. It will be fixed. We'll go to 16 in 2026, and it'll all be done.
Well, and they're going
Hopefully,
to
the right
take
way.
away the auto buys have to go away.
Yes,
Regardless, you could if even if you leave it at 12, you have to take away these stupid auto buys for the Big 12 champion for Christ's
you
sake.
better fucking earn
So
it. But Arizona State,
establish
though,
that.
sidebar
All
though,
right,
Arizona State
let's
played their asses off. Arizona State gave Texas a
they
game.
did. They did. Yeah, we talked about it. So let's talk about let's finish up our bad. Let's see, I'm the last one up.
Yeah,
I am going with the Oregon rushing game. Minus 23
not great,
yards
Bob.
for the game. That includes sack adjusted, obviously. Uh, Gabriel he accounted for minus 43 yards himself, and that includes a few scrambles. Total rushes 12, eight of those were sacks. So minus 23 as a team. Jordan James, before he left, was 7 of 14, like I mentioned. So a 2 yard average. That's not great, Bob. And Noah Whittington, I thought he was going to be more of a factor. No, not at all. 6 rushes, 3 yards. So
Um,
the Oregon rushing game was abysmal. And when you get down 31 nothing in the second quarter, I understand why you may want to divert away from the rushing attack. All right, let's get to our ugly. Jeff, you're up first, and then we got to get
I,
into this Texas game before we run
ugly.
out of
I mean,
time.
ugly. It's hard to say ugly. I got to go off the board here. I got to say Desmond Howard's fucking face on that fucking booth.
Oh.
I can't stand him. I
Is
cannot
this a
watch
new one?
ESPN with him. Well, I cannot stand what ESPN with. I cannot turn on. Dude, if he's instantly, I see him, gone. Next channel. I don't give a fuck what's
Oh.
going on. I cannot watch him. He is the ugly by far.
Do people still watch game day? Do
I
people
don't
watch
fucking
that?
know. I can't. I can't. I cannot
I
watch him. I
don't.
cannot watch anything he's a part of. I am out. I am out instantly. Fuck him.
Well, then you got Herbie and his therapy dog. Jesus, dude. Fucking
Fuck
serious?
sakes. God, I
That's
don't know what's going on there. I said we don't have a show. That's a whole
it's
nother show, Joe.
weird.
We can go.
So
We can
weird.
go Herbie. We can go Herbie next Tuesday if you want.
I was
Uh,
talking today about Herbie and explaining to a Florida fan why so many Buckeye fans are out on Herbie. But no, again, all right, Jeff, you got Desmond. Shawn, what do you got for your ugly?
I if I remember this right, it was late in the game. Their side of the field. We probably had it on the 40 or something like that. It was a fourth down situation, and we decided to pooch punt this thing instead of just going for it. The lead was such that I thought
Mm,
maybe. And the thing is, I'm not against that pooch punt, but if you're gonna do that, it damn well needs to be successful. And he kicked it into the end zone, and they got it on the 20, and it netted to like 17 yards. But
there was
yeah,
two. We missed two opportunities.
yeah, I think
I
it
can
was.
remember
Yeah,
two. We missed two to get them at the 1 yard line. We misplayed the
yeah.
ball at the goal
yeah,
line.
yeah. They
That,
the gunner slipped right
yeah, yeah. I mean,
at
dumb luck or
the
whatever.
inside the one. Yeah.
Styles, I think, was down there one, and I think it was Rogers was in the other. This got both. They both got misplayed. Now, if both get played right, pinned at the one, who knows? With safeties, fumbles, whatever. You put it. Yeah, it's a big difference from the 20 to the one with an offense and what their
Mhm.
play calling is and
Yeah.
stuff like
Well,
that. The way our
and with
defense
what
was
our
playing.
defense is doing, you pin them
Right.
down there.
Right.
Their first play is
Yes.
just to survive, and
Yes.
then
Let's get some space at least. Don't punt out of the end zone on a short punt. That's what they're. Let's get out and get a first down and just get out of our end zone.
Yep.
So yeah. So
Okay.
those are big plays. But look, I mean, that's what we're. I mean, that's pretty picky when we're down to the punt coverage, not getting at the 1 yard line. Over a great game. It's really not too much
Yeah.
ugly, is there?
All right. We got to keep it moving here.
Yep.
My ugly is Oregon tackling on this. Good job. So yeah. All right, we got to get in this Texas game. We got 30 minutes to do so. Any other notes here? I did want to mention Jeremiah Smith broke the single game receiving record for a freshman at Ohio State. Uh, he passed Chris Carter with who had 172 receiving yards on 9 catches in the 1985 Rose Bowl. He was
he was in
there on
attendance. Yes.
he sure was. Um, and so was Michael
They showed
Thomas,
him a
by the
lot.
way.
Showed him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, Hall of Famer. Kind of. Good for
Yeah,
ratings.
sure, of course.
So Buckeyes are now 10-2 all time versus Oregon, 10-7 in the Rose Bowl, and the Buckeyes have won their last 5 Rose Bowl appearances. That's pretty good. What else? Buckeyes are 5-4 all time in CFP games, and
Ryan
that's
Day,
it. That's it. That's the list.
Ryan Day, and Woody Hayes are the only two Ohio State coaches to ever win 2 Rose Bowls. So Ryan Day joined Woody Hayes in a stat.
Good one.
Yeah, it's made up.
All right.
No, but I mean, but think about that. Tressel only got one, and Urban only
No,
got
yeah,
one
but
his
Woody
last
Hayes,
year.
but that was the crowning achievement.
I,
Sometimes
right?
when we won
Yes.
the Rose Bowl, it's because we missed the playoffs.
And
Hey,
Woody
hey,
So
probably
but
went
hey,
to a lot more Rose
hey,
Bowls,
think
right?
about. Oh, yes, of course. Well, think
All
about
right.
this. If
Let's
Ohio State was no,
we
go
got to
ahead,
keep
Joe.
it
I
moving here, guys.
thought Woody Hayes in the playoff.
All
Another
right.
show.
Yep. Ryan, so you're saying Ryan Day is the Woody Hayes of the Rose Bowl.
I'm just saying, dude. Him and they matched win.
Liam and me, we gonna fuck you up. You pull out a piece out on the lane. Can I have some help?
you under no.
I
Come
I'll stick
on.
it in up your
Damn
ass
it.
until it say click click.
All right. All right.
Jesus.
7:30
Jesus,
on.
hey, Duke and roll, man.
Yeah, right.
8-year-olds,
Eight year
dude.
olds, dude.
That's right.
he's a he's a pederast.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
7:30 this Friday. Friday, keep it in mind, not Saturday or Sunday. It's a Friday game. Don't get me started on the following game after that, should we make it on a Monday. Anyway, so Friday night, 7:30 Eastern. You got your Buckeyes 12-2 versus the Longhorns 13-2. Um, their head coach Steve Sarkisian already seeping out the rat poison that he's hoping the Buckeyes will bite on. We will not. We do not take the rat poison. We give the poison. He said, quote, clearly we're massive underdogs. Nobody's going to give us a shot. So we're going to need all we can to try and win this game. He also called Ohio State the best team in college football.
Nudge, nudge.
So,
Hey, oil money. We need some
it,
money on them refs.
and fans, bring all your batteries and your piss balloons and all that stuff. Anyway,
Almost begging for a good turnout.
yes, but the Buckeyes have a good standing with the alumni in the Dallas area and obviously all of Texas, really. So I could see that being a 50-50, 60-40 Texas swing. Um,
Texas. This might be one bowl game where I thought we outnumbered Oregon in that. I don't know. I think we touched on it, but would have loved to seen that final breakdown. But that looked a lot red in that stadium, and maybe
Yes,
it's
it
just
did.
because the
Yeah.
angle we were seeing. Because I know they showed a big
yeah,
section of green, but
50-50 in my eyes. 50-50 in my eyes.
I heard a
that
lot
looked
of
more like
50-50
60.
from the media types. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can
There's
see
no
it.
way to.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
but
burps.
but but Oregon, those Oregon hippies aren't rabid like Texas people. I feel Texas is going to represent strong in Dallas.
Oh, for
And the
sure.
chicks
Yes,
are
yes, yes,
hotter.
yes.
Yeah,
You're
they
way
shave
hotter.
their armpits,
Yeah.
legs, things like that.
Yeah. It will be a
Grooming,
predominant Texas
grooming is
crowd.
essential
And
Yo.
in
and it
Austin.
just means more. It just means more.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime you're
McConaughey's on the
south of the
sidelines. I mean,
Mason-Dixon
fuck.
line,
Hey,
yeah,
chicks to the fucking games alone.
yeah,
He's the dean of cool or dean of what is it? He's got a title with the athletic with the football team. He's the
yeah,
dean
it
of
doesn't
culture.
matter.
Dean of culture. That's what it is.
Right. All
Matt
right, so let's
McConaughey.
talk
So,
about the
anyways,
game on the field and not the sidelines here. Players to watch. I watched both Texas versus Georgia games, and say what you want about Georgia, and we've said a lot. They are not as good as Ohio State's defense. Even if you go by any metric in the country, stat wise, they are not even close to the Buckeyes. All right. Georgia. Now, Texas defense is closer to Ohio State's, I would say. But the guys we need to watch, we're going to pay attention to. I'm going to break down here. Quinn Ewers, obviously the quarterback former Buckeye, had three of the most amazing handoffs in a game that you'll ever see. Um, then you got the running back. He tried to steal Quinchon and Travion's names and shove them together. And his name is Quintravion Weisner, the running back. He's a good dude.
That's
Uh,
awesome. That's awesome.
excellent running back, but he's like stolen our running back's names. So fuck that guy. Jadon Blue, he's kind of your touchdown specialist. Doesn't have a ton of yards, but Weisner is over 1,000 yards on the year. Receivers, ton of them.
Mhm.
You got
Oh
Matthew
yeah,
Golden. He does some serious damage. You got Wingo, Johnny Wingo. He is your uh, deep threat track guy. And then you got who else we got here? Gunnar Helm, the tight end. Terrible blocker, good possession receiver, kind of like a Colston Loveland, I would compare him. Doesn't get a
but
ton of targets every day, 4 to 6 a game. Wisner's good out of the backfield as a receiving threat,
what
and
about
then
the
you've
receiver
got
Bond? Joe, I think Bond's back healthy.
yeah, he just had 2 targets against ASU though,
Not
no
maybe
catches.
we could expect him maybe play a bigger role possibly.
Yeah, he is a legit threat.
Getting
So
back. Yeah. So yeah, they have
yeah,
weapons. Yeah, they have a lot of weapons, just like us.
right. Yes, they do. I would say watching this ASU game and these Georgia games, I'm not super impressed. Um, Maybe it's because Quinn Ewers was under duress like the entire day against Georgia. Got
Yes,
blindside blitzed by a corner, a linebacker, and that's one thing I wanted to point out.
you can't move. You
His
can't move.
his
No mobility.
awareness, exactly, but his awareness even in the pocket is not great to his blind side. A corner came from outside the hash and put his face mask between Quinn Ewer's shoulder blades and caused a strip
Yep.
fumble. So,
And
uh,
it wasn't for the record though. It was a corner that's going to be a pro. I mean that's not just
whatever.
your average. That's
He
not
was
your just your average.
fast.
It's similar to
Yeah.
our guys. Similar to guys in talent and rating. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and this O line has allowed 33 sacks this year,
Oof.
11 of them in the last 3 games. So
Wow.
against Georgia in the championship game for the SEC, then Clemson, and then ASU, 11 sacks. And I think a lot of that, like you said, has to go to this lack of mobility with Quinn Ewers and his ankle issue,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
so
Yeah. He's not right. You can
major
tell.
issue. Yeah, he's got the big arm. We all know that. We've never questioned his arm. We saw it here with those amazing handoffs and stuff.
I
Uh,
mean, he's been fighting like hell to keep his job. That's what he's been doing. That's why he's playing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's going against an entire family, right? The family of football, the
and,
Manning family.
half the backers. Well, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm
Right.
sure that I'm sure it's down there in Texas. I'm sure it's been a contention.
Mhm.
Put our chin. The frustration with keep winning and stuff. I bet it's an issue down there. So you don't know how much that's on his mind. But
Yeah. But he's thrown 11 picks this year. That is double his previous years, and he's putting things in harm's way. He has the arm, obviously, to get it there, but he takes
gamble.
too many risks. Um, he threw for 358 in that SEC championship game against Georgia, but it's
He
because they
had
could not run the ball. They ran the ball
exactly.
for 31 yards, and that included 6 sacks on him for -27. So
Yes,
the point
exactly.
is, they were a lopsided team. That's what Georgia wants to do to you, and it worked. And cheers to Gunnar Stockton, I guess. So anyway,
Yeah,
Shawn, you have I'm sure you've seen some Texas games this year, right?
A little bit here and there.
What's your take on Quinn Ewers as a quarterback right now as it stands?
I think don't sleep on him. To me, he's an elite player with elite talent. played a lot of college football now, and I mean, if that's the guy we got to beat, it's Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
Let's not beat him too bad though, because Arch Manning scares me if he comes in,
Yep.
because Arch
He's going
can
to get
move.
snaps. I would
Arch
I
can
would
move.
think they're going
Yes.
to pull out all the stops here,
Oh,
and
but yeah, we'll
yeah,
see both. I think we'll see both.
right.
But yeah, I mean,
I think you'll see both sooner than later because I think you're going to see, if this defense keeps playing like this and nothing's working, then I think, like you said, they're going to throw the kitchen sink out there on the field.
and
You have
and,
to.
and we got to bring pressure. We got to be able to pressure like Dylan Gabriel. We have to be able to just bother him, get in his face, get in his
Yep.
way, make him move. If Quinn has to move every snap, he drops back, and they're going to try to protect him with the run. So they're going to establish the run. But if we can stop the run, where he's got to
Mhm.
drop back, we got to make him move when he's dropping back. That ankle is going to just wear and wear and wear. He wears like a boot cast over,
Yep.
on his foot, man. He cannot move right, but he's gambling a lot
Yeah.
because he's trying to hold on to his job and stuff. So we got to make sure we exploit that.
Exactly.
I don't
Uh,
even know if winning a natty holds on to his job.
mm. Well, I,
Well, I
I
mean,
think
he's going
he's
after this
probably
year.
not.
He ain't staying.
I don't
He's
think he's welcome back in Texas,
no,
Yeah,
regardless of his
he's done.
decision. Yeah.
Yes, he's. I mean, he's either going to transfer or go pro. But I think he's
Yeah.
definitely done in Texas. So, but he's playing.
We've
He's
heard
playing
the
for his own
rumors,
shit.
right? We've heard the rumors.
He's not.
Some Big Ten team is offering 6 mil for him. That might
Maybe
be
Ohio
better
State
than when he
University.
gets in the NFL,
Yeah, I think
right?
yeah, because yeah, he's out of the first two rounds for sure. Nobody's
Yeah.
gambling on him that early.
Right.
Well, I say that, and then you don't know. Nobody does his pro day, and some fucking scout gets a boner, and somebody drafts a guy way ahead of his fucking position. It happens, I guess. So I'm not gonna say he's out of the first two rounds, but he's not a first two round talent. He hasn't proven
Yeah.
that. But we got
Yeah.
to be able to pressure him. If we can pressure him and make him force him to be mobile, I think that's the route. That's how I see the game.
Mm. Yeah.
We stop the run and he
Obviously,
can't move.
yeah. If I mean, as a defensive end, Jack, JT, even Tyleek up the middle, he's going to be in one spot. It's very, very easy to rush a guy if you
Yeah,
know where he's going to be.
and,
And
and
you don't have the threat of like a Gabriel. That's the reason why they rushed three at times and kept Cody as a spy behind them, because they rushed the three, maintained the pocket kind of consistency, and then if he tried to squirt out in one of those lanes, Cody was there to swallow him up. Same, but different here with Quinn. Quinn doesn't have the ability to make you pay with his legs,
yep.
right? So.
It- it-
Um,
yes, and our DNs
it's
Joe are
more
playing.
on the
They're on one.
secondary and coverage.
Yeah, I mean Sawyer and JT are on one right now. They're working so good together, and they're playing their asses off. So they're at
Yeah.
their peak right now. This is the this
Yeah.
this is the peak, peak of both of them. I think right now as a combination and individually. So I don't give a fuck. Texas, you get your hands full. Your tackles will have their hands full with these two boys. And if
Yeah.
we
they
can,
are.
yeah,
They're playing for their draft picks, aren't they? They're going off.
Jack
I mean,
Jack looks
both of
hungry as
them.
fuck, dude. He looks hungry as fuck out there.
The last few weeks, they both are maniacs.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like that's the key. That's the key to this defense. If those two play to their potential, like what we all thought they were coming out of high school, 5 stars, best in
Mhm.
the country, they're playing like it
Right.
now. And this is the I don't know, like I guess the results are coming in finally. Like we're finally seeing them.
Yeah.
And so I mean that's the key. If they got to keep if they can keep Quinn moving, yeah, we're gonna see Arch a lot earlier than they wanted to see Arch. I think
Yeah.
because he won't hold up. He
Yeah.
won't hold up. We got to force that though. We got to be able to force that on him. Because he'll throw it every fucking spot on every blade of grass or every blade of turf on the fucking field. He can if we
Mhm.
let him, but we can't let
Right.
him first and
So looking
foremost.
at the running game, yeah. So moving along here, looking at the running game against ASU, Weisner just ran for 45 yards on 18 carries, a 2.5 yard average, and they played two overtimes, man.
And
Uh,
they were up big early. They were up big early. I mean, it wasn't like they
17.
were coming
It was
behind.
up.
They weren't
They
like
were up 17. Nothing
yeah. I mean, but
that
they weren't
huge.
passing every down because they were down 3 scores. You know what I'm saying? They were up
Right.
in the game.
Yep.
So you think you'd be running the ball more? No.
Yep. So yeah. Other. Injuries, we had the right tackle Cameron Williams was out versus Arizona State. He was replaced
Mm.
by a redshirt freshman and former four-star Trevor Gooseby. Um, so they've had to do some shuffling along that O line.
Oh,
Um,
join the club, pal.
let's see.
Welcome to the party.
Calvin Banks Jr. left the game against ASU. He's the other tackle,
Mm.
and I think he returned. Yeah, he returned against Arizona State. Then let's get into the. Uh, yeah, we don't need to talk about. I mean, the blocking grades against Georgia were not
Dog shit.
great. Pass blocking, yeah, they all graded out in the 60s except for the right guard and the left guard. So the tackles didn't
And
do great.
the tackles are out. The tackles potentially could be out for against us.
Right. Run blocking was terrible. They all were under 50. So
It
that's going to
explains
hurt
why
the
they
running game, I think.
can't
Um,
run the ball. I guess. Yep.
yeah. And against Arizona State, their blocking grades were not great. The center was a 46. Where's left tackle? Left tackle 67, so not terrible. Right guard 65, so mediocre. They did allow against ASU, they allowed 19 pressures. That's scary. ASU. I know nobody's watched them this year. I haven't until that game, but I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you allow almost 20 pressures. Now,
Yeah, but if what you're saying is true, that Quinn's sitting
So
back
defense
there
is
all
not
day
a
on a
high ranked
bum
defense.
wheel, if Quinn's sitting back there on a bum wheel, maybe he's taking a little, an extra half second. You're gonna have more pressures when you're sitting back there.
yeah, I hear you. That's legit. Um, but it's Arizona State, Sean. It's not Georgia.
Yeah, because Georgia'd have 40 pressures on you.
Yeah, I actually have that right here. Uh, 17 pressures in the conference championship game
Huh?
by Georgia. Actually, slightly less. But again, double overtime against ASU.
Well, I watched the first half of that game, and it looked like it was going to be an absolute blowout, Texas style. And
Right.
their quarterback was back there running for his life, and they scored two, incredibly quick touchdowns. And
hmm
I think their D got tired out, and then the second half, I was actually in the car going somewhere, and then they're like, "It's tied up." I'm like, "What?" And I couldn't. And then they should have lost that. If you did watch that game, they should have lost that game.
I did. I
Um,
watched the whole thing. Scatterboo fucking cooked their ass. He caught a fade route, and then he fucking threw a touchdown.
What?
Right?
he was Mr. Everything. He had to be
Yeah,
for that team, though.
sure. Puking on the sidelines and shit. He did it all. So, but what's that tell you? That has to tell you something about the Texas defense. That one dude can fillet you like that.
No, it's the only dude they got. I mean, it's their
Okay,
dude. You give him.
so how does one dude versus 11 kick your ass? I don't get it.
Texas's D is pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers right here. I wanted to bring that up as we get into this breakdown. Their defense, number three in the country in points per game,
Fuck.
number three in yards per game. Um, third down conversions, eighth in the country. Opponent rushing yards per game, they're 12th. They allow 112. Passing yards per game, third in the country. They allow 166. So yeah, this I'm not saying this defense sucks. I'm just saying they did not look good their last time out. Oh, and by the way, guys, they had to play 97 plays, 100 plays in their last game just over a week ago.
On
Does that
defense.
affect? Yeah, on defense.
I do.
Holy
I think they were
crap.
out there for a long time because Arizona had
Yeah.
some long sustained drives that they couldn't get points out of early in that game.
Yeah, it didn't pay off. Yeah. That
Wow.
has to have an effect, right? Physically?
I mean, the extra days is going to really help, I think.
To a degree, I guess. Yeah. I mean, but again, and then pile a long, what, 14 game season on top of that prior. I mean, holy crap, man. It's like a war of attrition here in these playoffs,
It
you
is.
know?
But they
Uh,
did they have anybody come up hurt in this game? Against
so
Trinity?
in, yeah, the ASU game on defense, you had the safety. I'm going to call him Laffy Taffy. I believe he's number 16.
The one
He
that
went out of the
targets
game.
doesn't get called?
Yeah, bingo. You know him. You've seen his resume. Um, and then the corner Malik Muhammad went down. He returned, but Muhammad gave up a 42 yarder in the fourth quarter for a touchdown against ASU. So maybe he shouldn't have come back. Um, he's their worst outside corner, by the way. I do want to get into these guys as we're talking about on the season. Yeah, Trey Moore. So let's start from the top here. DNs, they got a plethora of DNs that are quality. Baron Sorrell, Colin Simmons, he's a true freshman. He won the Freshman of the Year award instead of JJ. So fuck that guy. Anyway, then Trey Moore. These three guys, they'll rotate in, and these guys are all really good edge rushers. Then you got down in the middle, Vernon Broughton. He's their
And we're
best D
back.
tackle. What's that?
And we're back. Sorry, I don't know what
All
happened.
right, no problem.
It just shut down on me.
It's all right. I was able to get a lot of words in.
I'm sure.
Uh, so Broughton, 6'4", 305, down in the middle. He's their stud D tackle. He's really good in mostly the run game. He's okay in the pass game. He does have a total of 29 pressures on the year, but just 3 sacks. And then their middle linebacker, Anthony Hill Jr., he's a tackle machine. He's got like 70 tackles on the year, 6'3", 235. But he has 17 missed tackles, which is meaningful in my opinion. And he is a fish in the pass game. Clemson worked him over, 8 targets, 8 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Matchup nightmare for Texas. Good nightmare for the Buckeyes. So look at him if you see the Buckeyes trying to throw to the running backs out of the backfield. Look at him. Arizona State tried to abuse him. They just weren't successful. They targeted him 7 times, just 3 catches for 30, where is it? 24 yards. So um, Georgia took advantage of him, 5 for 5 there. So good teams that can take advantage of that matchup will. Um, what else here? Malik Muhammad. I want to talk about these corners here in the secondary and their slot corner too. Malik Muhammad, 6 foot, 190. So these are not your 5'10s that we dealt with last week against Oregon. In coverage, he's got a 72 on the year, which is decent. Um, 56 targets, 29 catches allowed. So that's just over 50%. Just 1 touchdown allowed. But that was against
Hmm.
Arizona State, like I mentioned earlier. And um, he allows 14.5 yards per catch. So when he does allow a catch,
That
it
sounds
goes for
high.
big money. Yeah, that's what she said. Next up, number 7, Jade Barron. He's the other
Su-
corner on the other side. He's actually
Suspect.
much, much better. This guy's good. He's got a coverage grade of 91.6 on the year. His yards allowed, just 272. He's got 5 picks and allowed 0 touchdowns. Again, who
Wait a
have they
minute,
played is a good question. What?
Joe. You gave. He said he's only given up 272 yards all season.
Yeah,
Holy shit, man!
on 65 targets. 35 catches. Yeah.
Yeah,
No touchdowns,
Okay, all right,
5
okay,
picks.
yeah, okay, legit stats for sure.
That's
I
number
hope he,
seven.
I hope he
So,
mirrors, I hope he mirrors Jeremiah all game. I hope he just
yeah.
he goes Jeremiah all
Yeah.
game because I will
Yep.
like that. I will like that option.
Get your microscopes and your score predictions ready here because we're coming to you. All right. The fish here is the slot corner. His name is Jalen Gilbier. Number three. This guy has a coverage grade of 66.9, so stark difference from those outside corners. He has been targeted 59 times, 42 catches. That's a 71% completion percentage against him for 386 and 2 touchdowns. He has zero
Emeka,
picks,
Emeka,
just
hello.
2 PBUs. And heaven forbid if you line up JJ in the slot, which the Buckeyes are one to do. So that's your breakdown. Um, this defense is basically the same pattern we've seen over the last few weeks. Don't run it up the gut, work the perimeter, and take advantage of the mismatches in the secondary and the linebackers. Right? Use the
Uh,
pass to set up the run. Is this different from last week and the week
no,
before?
No,
no,
you keep
no.
Right?
going with you
The
keep
run
going with this.
and run defense is good. Their run
Yeah,
defense is their best. Is their best.
yeah,
You do it. Yeah, do
yeah.
what we do.
Like I said. I mean, they are good against the pass, but again, I got to argue they went against Carson Beck twice, man, and a Gunnar Stockton half of that second game.
And lost both.
These guys have not played against a real offense.
No, yes, you're right. And because Arizona State's offense cannot be compared to what Ohio State offers. So like, and the success that Arizona State had, you cannot compare to what we could do. We would be expected to double that, I guess.
Mhm.
So, um, I, I, I think you do the same thing. Your game plan, yeah, like you said, Sean, do what you're doing. It's working. It's because it's working because we have the best players in the country. So give them the goddamn ball.
Well, and it's being aggressive right out of the gates,
Yeah,
and
Yep.
hey,
and not letting up. Yes,
nothing. We're playing to
pressure.
win. We're playing to kick your ass and
Yes,
do it as
Yep.
quick as we can.
Dictating
like
terms,
like
not
like we
Like
feel like
taking,
like
we've
I
not letting them.
like we've been wanting to do. We've been wanting to see this team do this all year, right? We've been waiting for it.
Right.
Just show the country how good you are. Let them,
Yep.
give them your best, their best option of being successful.
Yep.
We're seeing it now.
All right. We got to get into score predictions here. All right. Buckeyes favored by 6. Let me double check this over and I have it at 55 right now. That sounds high. So high.
You sound high.
By the
I
way,
see it
I crushed.
on ESPN. It's 53.5.
Okay, we'll go with that, Sean. I
53 and a
crushed the
half.
player. All right, 53 and a half. There you go. All right, so Jeff, let's start with you. Give me
I,
your score prediction.
I first numbers pop in my head. 34. I zeroed in on us for 34. I was going back for Texas 17, Texas, but I think Texas gets a late touchdown, 34-24. We roll in the combo.
Okay, feeling confident with a double-digit victory. Sean, what do you got?
I gotta say, I kind of got the same. Jeff stole my
You're
kind of stole
welcome.
my thunder there. But I'll bump it. I'll bump it back up because what Ohio State's been doing, I think maybe they just keep on doing, and let's keep it at that 41 range. Let's go 41-24.
Okay,
I
I see
like
you,
it.
Sean. I see you. I see you. All right.
Nice.
I could definitely. The
All
game
right.
could exactly go like that. That
Yeah,
would not be a surprise to me.
I'm
It'll have
going
to be a different game
30.
where it's not a complete blowout, and Ohio State just has to keep. We're still scoring touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Did
okay.
we do
So win going away.
Yes.
it?
All
We dog walk Texas, man. Whoever's
right.
going to Notre Dame penalty, they're going to forfeit.
All right. I'm going 31-20. This Texas defense is no joke. We're
Yeah.
not just going to go up and down the field on them at will. I'd be shocked if we did that for 4 quarters, especially. So I think it's going to be a little tighter, but a nevertheless, and not an easy win, but uh,
Game in hand.
an
Game is
11
in
point
hand.
win's pretty freaking good.
Hmm.
So 31-20 is mine. Jeff, let's go to you for both of your microscopes quickly,
Both.
please. Offense and
Okay.
defense.
I gotta go with Travian Henderson. Can you have another game? Can you do it back to back weeks against high level talent? He
Mm.
looked electric. Travian Henderson on offense. Uh, Defense. All right, Joe. I'm gonna do it. I'm fucking doing it. Cody Simon.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's playing like an All American. He's playing lights
Yeah.
out.
Bucko.
He's
All right.
he's,
I love it.
he's gonna the test gets harder this week.
Sure. Yep. Exactly. All right, Shawn. What do you got?
All right,
Offense
I
and
got.
defense.
I'm going to keep my theme from last week. I'm going to go with the Texas boy on offense, Donovan Jackson. Go out
Okay.
there and
Yeah,
road grade, and let's get this running game going with Trey and
more pros is playing.
protect our quarterback.
Mhm.
Because I mean, that's the way. If Howard has a good game, nobody can beat us. Let's keep him clean. Um, on defense, let me just go with Sawyer. I'll go
Mm.
with Jack.
He's a
Let's get
monster,
some
man.
pressure. Him and took JT last week. I'll take Jack this week. But oddly
Okay.
enough, we do not have very many starters from Texas on this roster right now. We've got probably another five or six, probably three or four that are going to be starters next year. But
And some
none.
recruits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I,
Okay.
you,
So yeah, Jack. All right, I'm going on offense, just looking at how do you not go JJ? Can they
well,
put five guys on JJ?
I, is the guy
Is
is
that
the all
wrong?
American is their All American going to blanket him? Is he going to go everywhere he goes and just shadow him all game? We'll see.
I don't think that's enough though, because he might still be open,
I like
right?
my if it's man to man with their best, I still like JJ. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
80-20
So
balls.
I'm going
80-20
JJ.
balls.
I'm going JJ. That seems like a no-brainer. On defense, so let's see, TFLs. Cody had the three. JT had three TFLs quietly and two sacks
He
last
pop
week.
he
Jack
popped on
two
the
and
screen.
two. So, oh boy, this is a tough one. I'm going Caleb Downs. He had three interceptions that went through his hands last week.
Yeah,
Cody had a couple. So,
I
do we
know.
consider those drops? Should we assign drops to defenders too? Seems like we
maybe.
should.
I mean, well, Caleb Downs fancies himself as an offensive as just a weapon. You can put him anywhere. I mean, he is a
Punt
standout tailback.
returner. You can't
You
have your
do,
punt
yeah,
returner
yeah.
dropping
You
balls.
would right. You would think he was the ball skills. I mean, those went right in his hands, man. Two of them were
Yeah.
right there. He had his arms in
Yeah.
the right spot too.
Yeah. He knows how to catch a ball. I mean,
Yeah,
so yeah, I got to go Caleb Downs because that guy,
he played great, and he
that,
played great. He still played
yeah,
great.
him and Lathan Ransom, best. All right, I got it. We'll get to this next week, maybe this is an off-season topic. Best all-time Buckeye safety combo:
Oh, I got you. I got you right here.
Dawson Nicky. Who
Dawson Nicky's
else?
tough. My other one. My other
Von
one.
Bell, Tyvis
My
Powell.
other one.
I don't
Rob
know.
Kelly, Damon
No,
Moore. Rob Kelly, Damon Moore.
decent. I don't know. I'll take Doss.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Dawson Nicky, tough. I mean,
Yeah.
what they do in the '60s? I don't know. '60s,
Well,
'70s. I don't.
I'm talking our lifetimes, like last
Yeah,
40 years.
I think those are it right there. I mean, Tyvis and Von Bell, not bad. Two pros.
That was pretty good.
I mean,
Yeah,
Tyvis was MVP of the goddamn championship game, and Von Bell
I
is
know.
still playing in the league, multiple
Yeah.
contracts. I mean, just yeah, those are it. I think we nailed them right there. But
All right.
man, Rob Kelly, I love Rob Kelly.
Yeah. He was
96.
solid, but yeah. Caleb Downs and Lathan Ransom,
Yes,
best I've seen in 10 years, right?
It's just so.
I'm not
It's
gonna
just
argue.
so. It's just been so consistent back there.
Yeah. And
And
hard
they and they, and
hitting.
they,
I mean,
and they love to
everything.
hit, dude. They
Tackling.
just
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything you want.
you haven't seen someone move like that since Hooker like cover the ground like Caleb does.
Yeah.
Um,
and so instinctual.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. He just fucking sees it.
Yeah.
We got, two more years of him. Or what? We only one more year. One more year. We got one more year of him.
Right.
We
Yep.
got to enjoy it.
All right, guys. Sounds like a good one. We have a game on Friday. We will be back Sunday with our instant reaction. And hopefully, we're getting you ready for a national championship game against what will be two Northern teams.
I love
Hopefully.
it.
So, all right. Jeff and Shawn, appreciate you.
Appreciate
Thank
you, brother.
you. Go Bucks. And we will talk to you later.